It's 9 a.m. in Grimsby, and Enforcement Officer John, known as the Sheriff of Grimsby, has a giant-sized problem to deal with in a local car park. But nothing phases our John.
The problem we're here to deal with is this behind me, a metal storage container. We've known about it for some time. We've spoken to the alleged owner or keeper of it. It is in a public right-of-way. My job today, unfortunately, is to remove it to a correct storage location.
Just get rid of it is John's first thought, but it's not that simple.
What we've got to do is break into it because I'm not able to permit, obviously, the carrying of anything hazardous. So we're just about to get the contract to cut the locks, and then we'll see what's inside and take the appropriate action.
This is definitely not a case of hey presto.
We check the locks out. We now find that it's got a central lock that is pretty substantial.
It's going to take some getting in. But I'm sure you got it sorted, ain't you, John?
We're just waiting for the correct equipment to come up, which will be here in the next 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll cut the lock, and then we can see what we're dealing with.
The delay attracts those with time on their hands.
Now go away.
John decides to give those responsible for the container a final warning.
No, it doesn't appear that anyone's home at the moment.
It's a futile attempt, and John knows the local mood is against him. This could get rather tricky.
Well, I think that's the sad way that society seems to have gone, but hopefully, not just me, but many people like me, we plough on, we go on, we strive to hopefully someday restore some form of order.
John is heavily outnumbered. The Sheriff of Grimsby calls for a posse. When it looked as if a key wasn't necessary, it appears. But then, another problem.
It can't actually be moved in its current condition because there's an extremely strong smell of petroleum spirit. Certainly there are flammable materials in there mixed with flammable substances. I'm surprised that it's not already burst into flames of its own accord, to be honest, because there is the right mixture in there to cause that.
The fire brigade will have to make sure it's safe, but that will take time, and the mood of the crowd isn't improving. John still doesn't know if the contents are dangerous. In Grimsby, Enforcement Officer John is still trying to remove the giant container. The problem of the missing key has now been solved, but John still has to cope with the added interest his work has brought.
It's nothing like having a really anti-aggressive audience, is there?
There's a strong smell of petrol, so John's called the fire service and they're taking no chances.
It might look as if we're going over the top here with wearing breathing apparatus when the container's outside, but the issue is that it's an actual confined space. So as soon as we open that confined space and we actually enter that confined space, we really need to confirm exactly what air we're breathing. We haven't got a clue what's in there.
Prepared for the worst, the firefighters take a look. The container is filled with a collection of motorbikes and garage equipment, but it seems there's no real danger.
Their findings inside the trailer was that, yes, there are strong odours, yes, there's flammable liquid present, but not at a level that it's triggered their explosive meters.
The mood quickly changes. The crowd, who had got John a bit worried, now help by moving the contents of the container to a nearby garage.
The whole tone in the area has totally changed now. It's almost become carnival-like. Once it's emptied, it'll be put back on the back of the truck and it'll be taken away, and we've restored things to how they should be.
It took 6 hours longer than expected, but at last a lorry can pick up the container and take it away.